Whatever you do, do not get the insurance offered by the cruise line or the airline or any other travel supplier, because you're about to fall into what I call the convenience trap, just like you see here on the Carnival website when they offer you travel protection. In this video, I'll show you exactly how travel suppliers manipulate you during the booking process, why their plan is a bad choice, and the simple way for you to take control instead. By the way, I am Damien, a licensed insurance agent for 20 years, and I've helped well over 100,000 travelers find the best insurance for their vacation. Now, you've definitely seen this trap before when you've booked travel online. We already saw the cruise example, but airlines do it, hotels, even Disney, it's everywhere. And it always pops up right when you're about to finish booking and you're excited for the trip and you just want to get things done. But they make it seem like your only choice, like you need to click yes or otherwise you're traveling unprotected. So this is the convenience trap in action. You're probably thinking that's your only chance to get coverage, and that's exactly what they want you to think. But here's the truth. You can buy travel insurance anytime after you book, in fact, right up until the time that you leave. They're really just creating a false sense of urgency to trap you into choosing their one option. So picture this scenario from my recent client. She was booking a cruise to Alaska for $4,500. Right before checkout, the cruise line offered their plan at $380. That sounds reasonable. It's about 8% of the trip cost. But it only covers the cruise portion of her trip. Her flights to Seattle, not covered. Her hotel the night before departure, not covered. Having adequate medical coverage if something happens, that plan has absurdly low coverage limits. Now you're probably wondering, isn't it safer to just buy from the company that I'm traveling with? But here's the reality, that supplier coverage doesn't have anything to do with the actual supplier. They just partner with one insurance company and get a cut to push their plan. Maybe you've bought supplier insurance before because you thought you had to decide right then and there. And you're not alone, that's exactly how the trap works. So I just showed you how the convenience trap pressures you into buying their one option. Now I'll show you how their plan has worse coverage and it costs more money. And the easiest way to do that is with a real-world example. Here's an actual itinerary from Carnival Cruise Lines. This cruise costs $3,098, and you can see their protection plan is $298, which is about 10% of the trip cost. But keep in mind, that's just for the cruise cost. It doesn't cover the flights or the hotels. But let's click into those details so that you can see why their coverage is just not enough. Their limit for medical coverage is only $10,000, and their coverage for emergency evacuations is only $30,000. That means that any accident or illness that costs above that amount will be paid out of your pocket. Now, as an aside, the minimum amount of coverage recommended by experts is at least $100,000 of medical and $250,000 of evacuation. Now that amount of coverage might seem crazy, but it really isn't. Here's just one example where a passenger got stuck with a $47,000 bill on a cruise ship. And here's someone from my video comments that I was chatting with who had a heart attack aboard the cruise ship with a bill for almost $250,000. Luckily, he had enough coverage because a bill like that would have been a life-changing financial catastrophe. Now, let's look at what you get when you compare quotes for yourself using a comparison website like CoverTrip. First of all, you have choices. In this case, you have 50 policies to choose from over 25 different companies. And after sorting those plans by price and not doing any other in-depth comparison, you can see this plan has $75,000 in medical coverage versus the supplier plan with $10,000. And it has $250,000 of evacuation coverage versus that $30,000 from the supplier. That's 7 times as much coverage, so it's not even close. And here's the kicker, that plan costs half as much. And remember, that supplier plan is just the cruise. It doesn't cover hotels or airlines or anything else. But you can see, even when you add those costs into your own plan, you're still getting way more coverage for less money. That's just a quick example, but you can clearly see why it's better to take things into your own hands and compare plans for yourself. You've seen how the travel supplier sneaks their plan right into the checkout process, and how that plan falls really short on coverage many times over, plus it costs more money. Here's how to take control instead and get your own travel insurance plan using a comparison website. Now you might be saying this sounds way more complicated than just checking that yes box, but actually it's easier. Think about it. You wouldn't buy an airline flight without checking other airline prices first. So why would you buy insurance from only one company? This would work exactly like Expedia does for flights. Put in your trip information one time and you get quotes from every single company. You just need a few trip details like the traveler ages and the dates of the trip and the trip costs. And you will get quotes from over 25 companies in the same place so that you can compare them easily and get the best deal. There are also some easy built-in tools that help you narrow down your choices here. like filters for minimum amounts of coverage that you might want, and for optional upgrades like cancel for any reason coverage. You can also select a few plans and compare them side by side so you can see how the coverage compares. When you do find a plan, you can just click a button, sign up online, and you'll get an email confirmation in just a few minutes. Now, you've probably had a few questions pop into your mind during this video. So I want to answer the most common questions that I get all the time. How do I know if the travel insurance company that I'm choosing is legitimate? Every company listed on the website is licensed and regulated, so they are all legitimate. These are the same companies used by the airlines and cruise lines, but you're not limited to the stripped down single plan that they're offering you. Next, what happens if I need to cancel? How do I actually use the insurance? You would file a claim directly with the insurance company. It works just like any other insurance. You submit a claim with proof of loss, and they reimburse you. And it's exactly how it would work with that supplier plan. Next, what if my trip has multiple parts like flight, cruise, hotel? Will one plan cover all of the trip? Yes, one plan can cover your entire itinerary. Just enter all of your trip costs and then all of the days of travel. Next up, what if I'm not sure of all of the trip costs yet? Should I still purchase now? Yes, there's a benefit to buying early. If you wait, you lose out on time-sensitive coverage like cancel for any reason coverage and even pre-existing condition coverage. So it's always safer to buy early and lock in that coverage, and you can always contact the insurance company later to make any adjustments. Also, every plan on the website has a money-back guarantee called a free look period, and that gives you time to look over the policy and make sure that you understand everything. And next, can I just get medical coverage without all of the cancellation stuff included? Yes, you can select no to the cancellation coverage and it will leave that part out. This is a great option if your main concern is getting sick or injured while you're traveling, especially overseas, but you're not so concerned about cancellation costs. Plus, your plan will cost a lot less. Remember this, you have options, you have time, and you can get better coverage for less money. Get my free trip insurance roadmap where I share all the details about getting the best coverage. There's also a link below to my comparison site so you can look at plans for yourself. And for a deep dive into cruise insurance and everything you need to know there, check out this video.